Okay, I'm going to continue this discussion of the T2HA Toolbar, and I want to walk through the next thing. What was it? Let me see. Feed form filler. Let me explain what that is. And here we go. If I were to rename, and I'll just call this WIP because I've been working on it. If I were to take another one of those, copy, okay. Everything on it is done the way it's done, paste. Let's say this. Let's say I had this feed file, and on this feed file I've got all the stuff I want to put on it. Okay, let's say I'm going to run with it soon. Okay, I've got the theme name here. I want to put a lot of runs up for a lot of companies, but I can only afford one domain name, so I'm going to make them all subdomains on that domain. Okay, with that username and password. All right. And I want to create the emails, maybe create the email passwords. But anyway, I've got all this stuff and I want to kind of like lay it out. I have tabs where some of the stuff could kind of go. I'll point it out as I go, but you'll start to get it. So for instance, for the pages, I might have the perfect browser titles already. It might be the company names or something. For the theme option settings, I've probably got what I need for some of these. For the pages, definitely, like I was saying, and the sidebar widgets maybe, but the global variables, definitely. I'm going to have the name of the companies I want to promote, and the website links I want to promote, the phones, the main email addresses, address line 1, 2, and total address, and who knows what else. Okay, so I might just have a bunch of this information already. Now, here's where I happen to have it. On the input folder, and this can be any name you want, I'll show you why in a bit. Then I have some file in here I just happen to be calling source. Call it anything you want. Now, that source file, I'm opening it, okay? That's got everything I want. Business name, maybe this is like Reference USA material, and I went and looked up all of these stores. All these addresses, suites, cities, states, zip codes, full address, full phone number. I'm going to create them onto subdomains. Guess what I did for the subdomain? I copied over the business name, pasted it, converted to all lowercase, and then I got rid of all spaces, so there were no spaces anymore. That became the subdomain. I'm going to do subdomains of all these guys. Where am I going to do them? On that domain, that same domain. I'm going to create email addresses for all these guys. Why do I need to know? Because I want to put them in the global variables already for the website. So as we go producing all the websites, we're going to have all those email addresses, wherever they are, this one. Okay, going all the way down. All right. Okay, I've got the website addresses, which I piece together just simply by concatenating some of these columns properly. And so I just put it together, okay? And so this is what the website address is going to be in this case. Now, why am I doing this? Let's say I want to make a lot of money. I'm going to just start pre-ranking real people who might buy my work or pay me for leads. So I got to create something to show them. So the first thing I did was go look up every business I could get my hands on, so I can just create the subdomains for them on my website, with email addresses that I can forward to them or forward to me or who knows what, so I can get leads that I can send them, right? Okay, and this is what the address is going to be, so I can just apply it, on the website, make it kind of obvious, make some apparent sense. Now, of course, I wouldn't really do this on a website called Moji Samples, right? I'd be doing this on like best companies in town, best industries around, so whatever it is, toprated-leaders.net or who knows what. I'm just showing you so you understand how this concept works. Point is, I already have like business names, address line 1, city, state, zip, full address, phone, subdomain, domain, email, website. Why don't I feed that information in? If I want to go copying and pasting, it'll take me a long time. I'm going to have stuff like that I might have to do anyway. But I'd rather just be able to import that information. That's called a feed form filler. It'll fill all the tabs in your feed forms with whatever mapped out process you have. Okay. And there's probably a better way to do it. I'm even starting to think of one while I'm sitting here. But here's the concept of it. Okay, I'm going to take a shortcut to where that file is. Okay. The source file is here. And I already showed you this link. It's in that input folder. Call it whatever you want. That's the file name. Call it whatever you want. But it's got to know where it is so it can go to it. And then it's going to look for the sheet name, sheet 1. Happens to be sheet 1 in that case, not something else. It's sheet 1 in that case, right? So this is the source column. Those are all the things on that sheet. If I go into input, hit source, it loads it up, okay? We are on sheet 1, and these are the source columns, A, B, C, D, etc. Okay, so those are the source columns of sheet 1 on that sheet. Where are we going to put it? On the destination sheet, whatever the destination columns are going to be. General settings, theme option settings, pages, global variables, whatever those tab names are. Okay, all the tabs running across the bottom, that's these things. Okay, now what's the destination column going to be in each case? So do you get it? It's going to find that. What was that? Business name. It's going to put on general settings and column B, which is business name. Okay. Well, and also, because business name applies here on the theme option settings in column B, it's going to get pasted there as well. Okay. And also, it's going to go on the pages in column G. See how cool this is? Because it's going to do this for me automatically without me having to go copy paste all those things over there. It just saves me, 15 copy paste jobs. And then convert to HTML is based on the notion that we have a feed form editor that applies rules that we have for converting to HTML. In this case, we don't have anything that has HTML in it. It's all text-based, so we don't have to convert it to HTML. If we had like we were working with, when you wind up with all this coding in there, paragraph coding, header coding, then yeah, you'd want to convert to HTML, that kind of thing. Especially if we had shortcut rules and we're using the feed form editor, then you would convert so it can run the feed form editor on that information and change your little shortcuts, into the real coding, right? Convert to HTML coding, okay? And all that means is this. Our feed form editor is really right here. If we had little shortcuts that we used when we wrote the articles in the first place, which is more for spin rewriter than what we do today, then those shortcuts would get converted to the codes. This would get converted to that. That would get converted to that. So if you are using some sort of external tool, you can build your own shortcuts and tell the system, tell the feed form editor what it's supposed to replace it with. And then you can run it on anything, a single cell, a column, the whole sheet, whatever sheet you're on. And it'll go looking for the shortcuts and change them into the right things. Okay? So that's pretty cool. It's just that we don't really need it anymore. The reason this exists is because we were doing that. Now that we're not doing this, this is not so important anymore, right? But it's still there. If you got other guys doing copywriting jobs for you and you tell them to put like some kind of brackets around H1 tags and then double brackets around H2 tags and you want to convert that, then you can do that. Okay, that's the concept. Okay, I'm not going to save it because there's nothing there to save. All right, now that I have my source file with everything on it, this is kind of the idea, right? I'll open this thing up. It doesn't matter what tab I'm on because all of this is the same. Still going to do it no matter what. It's going to do all those little rules top down. So no matter what tab I'm on, I could be on global variables. Okay. So I'm just going to do it. Feed form filler. And again, you can edit those rules, right? For every different feed form. Okay. Let me open this up so it's easier to read. It's the phone number, right? There you go. Take a look. Website title. Well, that's what I wanted it to be. The company name, that's the code for it, okay? And then the value, right? And that's what I wanted the value to be, okay? It copied and pasted all the stuff in. This is all the copying and pasting that I did not have to do on my own, right? As a result, okay? I didn't have to copy paste these columns in. I didn't have to go think about them, you know, because the system did all this for me. Get it? That's the coolness of that. Matter of fact, you can just do that now and it's easier to see it all. And yes, it did it wherever it had rules to do it with. See that? It did it here. It did it for the root, moji-samples.com in this case, in every single case. Okay, and then the subdomain name in every case. Now I don't have email there because I did not have an email prefix column. I just had an email column, which is different. So on the global variables, of course, it did put the email wherever the email goes, right here. Right. Anyway, I think you get the idea. And pages, wherever it had stuff for the pages, like the browser title, right? Matter of fact, let me see what else. Okay, browser title. Then it's just helping me out, you know, by putting that stuff in there for me. So whatever I had, that was it. Then it's just putting that stuff in there. Okay, so it's just all the less I have to mess with. Right? That's what the feed form filler is for. Okay, and I think we've covered everything. Master feed form, mass, website explorer. Well, the only other thing is generate the sitemap. Let me show you generate the sitemap. It's got one little glitch. I'll have it fixed soon, but I'll show you how it works now so you understand. Okay. Pages tab. Sitemap has to do with pages. And I've got all these pages, right? They all have their names. They're all on the one website, which is defined here. Oops, I didn't define it yet. You realize that? My root domain for row 3, that's the row we're on, right? Row 3 has not been defined. So we don't have any sitemap information until we create it. Okay, so I'm going to create it. I'm going to say the sitemap here is like moji-samples.com. Okay, it's probably going to be it. So if that's true, what happens? Let's generate a sitemap. Process is complete. Let's see how it looks. Okay, here's my sitemap, okay, which I can rename to something better, you know, like what I call anyway, you know, Gilson-mojisamp-sitemap1.txt, you know, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter what you name it. If I open it, okay, it's got all the links. And that's all cool, except none of them end with .html. That is a glitch. I'll get that fixed soon. But just in case I forget, any idea how you fix this? Well, you could do it by hand. Kind of a pain. And whoops. And then you think, well, I can get faster and more accurate if I copy it and go like this, right? Still kind of a pain. So let me get rid of all those so I have uniformity. Place all. Let me show you what I would do. Okay, I'd select all, copy it. Then I go to Word, because there's a trick to it. Paste it in. And I'm going to replace something. I'm going to replace a break tag, which is upper caret P. By the way, that upper caret that you see here, this thing, comes from, kind of like a hat, comes from your number 6. Just shift number 6. Key on a QWERTY keyboard. I'm going to replace a line break with something. Guess what I'm going to replace it with? .html line break. Replace all. There. That way I've got, you know, .html in every case. Now, it happened to get that twice, so I just kill it. Okay, because it has a line break down here. All right. But there you go. So now it's got everything right. So now I Control-Alt, Control-C, and come back to my file, right? And paste over the top of it. And there. Get rid of that last blank line, maybe, you know, and close it. Okay? All right. That'd be the way that'd be done, you know. And if I was putting it all up in one or more subdomains, then that's what would happen. I'd have like a subdomain for row 3, and then it would all go into the subdomain. Okay, I think you get the point, and I think that covers it. That covers everything. All right, let me know if you have any questions. And, with this, of course, what would you do with this? You would upload it to Google Webmasters, right? Go verify your website and upload it to Google Webmasters. And that way, Google can go through this list and find all those links and therefore start indexing them. And they're going to index really fast because you've got error-free websites. And that's cool, Of course, as you go adding stuff to your own websites, you might create some errors. So just be careful, kind of go back, double check. But whatever. I mean, mostly it's going to be clean. Just keep it informational. Keep, images are images, alt tags are alt tags, information is information. Just be sensible. Import snippet codes that work from reputable companies if you want them, and you're good to go. Okay. And there you have it. So now you can create all your sitemaps, upload them, do whatever you want with them, save stuff in an archive folder. You can archive each job, and you can just like copy stuff anytime you want to do that. You can come up with versions of this stuff, however you want to do that. So like, for instance, I could put the sitemap in the archive. I could put the WIP in the archive. Whoops. Oh, okay, yeah. Now I can close it. Okay. All right. And then I can go through and, I can put the master feed form in the archive, if that makes sense. Feed form source in the archive, and I can get started with the next job I want to do, All right. I think it's clear enough, and I think that helps you understand the power of the T2HA Toolbar. You can create a mass ton of websites that are all interlaced using any combination of colors and images and subdomains, add-on domains on as many servers as you want. As a matter of fact, one of the videos I got to put out now is for the cPanel creator we created at, guess what, cpanel-creator.com. But it's got all the bulk subdomain information up there right now as of August 22nd because we haven't written through to explain it. But guess what that does? Any dedicated server that anyone has, a host monster dedicated server, whatever, a cPanel based dedicated server, really. So it could be HostGator, it could be anything else that uses cPanel, not Plex. And you can go create, if somebody buys a bunch of GoDaddy domain names and points the name servers forward to that, whichever servers, as long as you have those server logons and those lists of domain names, you can automatically create all those cPanels. Okay, that's a tool, and the video is coming out real soon for that. So keep an eye out. It's a big deal. It's a tool. You can get it. You can use it for yourself or others. All right, more to come.